Oh god, here we are again.
Hey, glad to see you alive. Thanks for sticking
No one
with me.
cares, Mark. No one
I wanted to tell you.
cares.
Oh, hi, Mark. Get the
Just in
fuck out of
case.
here.
With me is Brando.
Oh, God, what happened to her?
Are you
War.
alright? We just got the news about
War
the
never
attack.
changes.
They're getting closer.
Unless it gets low res.
She is a courier.
I mean, to be honest, she does look the most out of
Don't
all
move.
the other random characters like a Fallout character.
Yeah,
Very
just
Fallout-like.
short female
Thanks for getting us
hair,
out of there, Sergeant.
bruises and cuts,
Uh,
really bad clothing.
Yeah, raggedy button-down shirt with a vest on. It's kind of the do and do's.
Ooh, yes.
So, this section in particular, Brandon, this is leading up to the final boss battle with the infiltrator unit that we're
Jake.
chasing down. But first, let's talk to Old Mother Courage.
Oh, you
How
gotta
the wind
chase
blew.
down an infiltrator unit?
It's the one that happened at the beginning of the game. You remember the one that was hit by the truck?
Oh, right. Oh, that thing's still alive?
Yeah, he
You
keeps
need help
following
with
you around.
No, I'm fine. I had to learn to do
That's not
things
good.
by myself.
It's the most aggravating fight in the game
Yeah.
I've had
Tell
thus
me,
far.
what did you
Christ.
really want to ask me?
So wait, you've already had a boss battle with it and it's still alive?
How did you know about the
Well,
annihilation?
it was only really interacted with in
The rumors.
cutscene, and then it
Else.
came up in cutscene again.
And then, like everyone else,
And
I
now
decided
we're
to
actually
leave.
fighting this Mr.
I
X
was in the middle
instead
of
of
operating.
having to run away from that Mr. X.
When I had
Ah.
finished, I
And it's
realized
annoying.
there was a
It has
rumor.
some graphical things that are nice, like it.
Most of us.
You can shoot its skin off to reveal the endoskeleton,
So,
Ooh.
that's
and
why I
its
got it
clothes
down.
will also shred, revealing the endoskeleton.
Worth having a doctor in there.
It gets very fleshy. That's kind of nice. But it's
What
also the
happens?
worst fight.
People
The
get
worst.
tortured, experimented
In
on,
terms of, like, health bar, ammo, tactics.
Well,
But I soon realized
tactics
that
turns
no
into,
one else
okay,
would.
he's armed with
I
a second
had to
generation
do
plasma
most of the
rifle.
atrocities.
Okay.
You were actually the
He's
first
also armed
person
with ion
to
grenades.
ask.
The same ones that
Those
Arnold
skin
tosses in Mortal
Like I'm
Kombat
carrying
11.
Some sort of disease.
Oh.
But they're still coming to me for medicine.
And on
Ironic.
normal difficulty, the amount of time it takes for him to toss out one of those grenades, which almost explode instantaneously, is comical how fast it is.
Oh, good lord.
In this recording, I
Aw.
edited that out, so yeah, look at the little pupper. That's what I took time for. I took time to go, oh, look at the little guy. Oh, little good fellow. And then I turned my lights on like an asshole, going, hey, where were you on the date of whatever day this is in future time?
Yeah, the future. That's literally just it. What day is it? The future.
What's up?
Where are we at?
I know
The
you're
future.
busy, but I
Ryan.
Oh,
something I
Ryan.
think you'll like. A tape from
I wish
back
I
in
could
the
say it
day.
the same way
I wanna
the
play it
narrator
for you,
from I
but
Have
my
No
boombox
Mouth, but I
is
Must
busted,
Scream says,
so,
where he just goes,
Get out there and
Ryan!
find one that works. Bring it to me, okay?
God,
Can't you
that
ask
voice is
Jennifer
creating
or one of the other
just like
scavengers
that
for help?
story.
I already
It's good,
did, but they
but
couldn't
not.
find anything.
Very
else.
not.
Think about it.
There's only one other game I thought about kind of looking into, but I'm still a little bit mixed about.
Which is?
Near Automata.
Yeah, your Automata, you may want to look into that. That could be fun.
Because I heard it was really, really good.
very popular. People like that one.
Yeah. Especially because I forgot all about it, because it was like, oh, it's a sequel to Nier. And I was like, how did I never piece that together? Because I was like, why does that sound so familiar? And it's like, oh yeah, I forgot Nier came out.
It's just it's not a direct sequel per se.
Rivers,
No, but it's
you want to explain to me
like,
what the
from
hell
what I heard, it
happened?
was like part of the same
We're
universe.
lost downtown.
Yeah,
I know that.
But I just remember hearing
how's that
the
possible?
game
What happened to
Nier,
our defense
and I was
systems?
like, why does this sound so
Alvin says
familiar?
one
And
of
it's
our
like, oh, that's
soldiers
why
came
I
with an
remember
order
when it
directly
came
from
out.
you to reset
and
the target
here's
settings for
old
non-enemy
Baron
force.
Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I don't like her.
I don't like her either.
This is what I want you to do.
This is a section
whoever
where
is
we'll
responsible for
actually
sending
talk
that
to her
order.
a bit more, and
All
it's
the
kind of
messengers
funny
have
how
GPS
the
tracking, so we're
companion
keeping
system
tabs
works
on
on
their
this.
location.
Because
Find them
some
and
of
bring
it just
them
turns
to me.
into, it's not
Understood.
quite an insult, but you kind of go,
Rivers,
hey, how
Despite
come
what I
that
might
was
say about our
shit?
resident egg,
And she goes,
I
well,
truly
it's
have a
like
hard
this,
time
and
believing
how
my
dare
men
you? You
are
are the first
incompetent.
person to ask me
So
about
expect
this.
the
And then it
unexpected.
turns into, I might sleep with you
You know
later.
what I mean.
Roll initiative.
Do you think
Yeah.
the infiltrator's back?
Like, Jesus
we
Christ.
won't be sure until you find those messengers and confirm my suspicion.
Now, the whole crux of this is somehow the
What?
infiltrator unit
One of our
pretended it was
soldiers
one of
said
the
that
messengers
one of our
that
guys led Skynet's
Baron was
attack.
working on. That's why I fought
That only
those
supports
robs
my
that you
case.
saw from the last
As
video.
soon as you know what's
Oh,
going
yeah.
on, radio me.
Rob!
Oh God.
Who's Perry? You
Those
mentioned
damn
him.
things.
Yes,
The best
indeed.
soldier I ever fought beside. He was the one
So
who brought
going
me into
through
the
that,
resistance.
that was it was
It's
caused
actually a
because
funny
for
story.
some reason he
Years
tricked
ago,
one of
when I was
the
just a kid,
lead
I
scientists
saw a
for the
Skynet
Resistance
drone
that happens
attack
to be
some guy.
Hacker
Without
Man,
thinking,
best
I
hacker
grabbed
in
a
the
rock
world.
and jumped on it.
The
guy was screaming.
They tricked
the whole
him
time
into
while I beat
setting
metal
the
to
defense
ground.
grid for the
Only when I
Resistance
was done
camp
did I
here
realize
to.
he was trying to stop me.
I think it was just non-hostile entirely.
You killed a
So
drone
when
with a rock.
the rest of the
I was young
I
and
think
stupid.
what was it called again?
Thank
The
God
termination
drone
line.
wasn't
I think
really
it's that.
armed, otherwise I wouldn't be here to
The
tell
big
the story.
wave of
He was a
steel
resistance
in
scientist, and
Terminators
that drone
that's just
was one of his
walking
weapons.
across the United States,
So you can
apparently
imagine he
killing
wasn't too
everything.
happy when I smashed
Yeah.
it to pieces.
Apparently, it
But
just
he
caused
wasn't
the grid to
alone.
go down, so they're like,
There
oh,
was
minimal
this huge
resistance.
guy
Alright,
with a
that's great.
rifle
We're
on
just
his
gonna
shoulder,
start
almost
pancaking
choking
these
me with
fuckers.
laughter.
Yeah, there's only one thing with the Terminator universe I've always kind of wondered.
Yeah.
Is it strictly the United
Was
States
that Perry?
or like North America in general
Commander Perry was in charge
that
of this division
is
before me.
overrun
That
with
scientist later
Terminators,
told
or
me
did the
that was
whole
the
world
first
get
time he
like,
ever heard Perry
or did like the
laugh.
whole world get nuked?
Somehow Perry and I
And now there's Terminators everywhere because
He taught me
they
how to
established
channel
that
my anger
Skynet's
and
main
get it under
computer
control.
hold, the one with the time
He
machine,
introduced
is
me to
in
combat.
LA.
And that's how I got to the
I'm going to do a Google while we think about this, but I believe everything
Whatever
was nuked,
happened to the
but
scientist?
the worst of the worst is in the
He was
Americas
always
when it
doing
comes
his
to steel bad
experiments.
boys.
Yeah, because
Trying
I've always
to
it's
outsmart
almost
Skynet.
it is the same question going to
One day you
Fallout.
find
It's
out.
like
And because
it's
of that, he's
because
no longer
all the
with
Fallout
Oh yeah, no, the
games-
whole world
Never
is
thought
nuked
I'd
in
be
Fallout.
reminiscing
Yeah, I
of
know,
the
but you
day.
never see the other. You never see any other
This may come as
perspective.
a
I mean, that would be
surprise
an
to you, but it was
awesome
the first
establishment
metal
for
I ever
Fallout. It's
destroyed.
like, what if you go to like Europe or something?
Right. I think it would be more of a case of just tons of ghouls everywhere and a lot less vaults. I'm pretty sure
Probably.
Vault-Tec is strictly an American concept.
It probably is. I wouldn't be
First
surprised
metal
because there was
used was
only,
one
I
of
think,
ours.
127
Good
vaults that were
At
made.
that point, I
Hmm.
didn't know that they could work for us. Or that humans could work for them, for that matter.
I know
That's
that's
a
like
different story.
that's the only thing about the Fallout universe that
You
always
need to
drove
break
me nuts.
radio
It's like, oh, the
signals.
They
concept
had a
of the
head start
vaults.
on
It's
us.
like, oh,
At
they're
this
an
point, we
evil
can't afford to lose
corporation
any time.
because they're gonna do social experiments on all these people when the world ends, and it's like, okay, how are you going to financially benefit from this if the world is fucked?
Mm.
You know, it's like, it's an intriguing concept, an intriguing execution, but when you really dig deep down into the thought of it, you're like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's the world of Fallout in general.
In most fantasy worlds. Yeah, look at this nightmare child. I was like, oh, hey Patrick. And he's like, no, you are not worthy. By the way, this is for you. We're not talking.
This
Except
is
it
for
wasn't.
you.
Like, he just put some random shit that he was scavenging on a chair, and then he just stands there looking into the void, remembering that he's the child from Omen. Scary, baby.
Why does he not talk to you?
I don't know. I think he's going through a phase. There's a lot of strangely artificial drama that pops up between the survivors that we first meet with, and also this BJ Blazkowicz looking son of a
You
bitch.
need anything?
Oh, why is Jennifer pissed at you?
No. No, we're actually on really good terms. See? Let's talk. Oh, look at that zoom in! Look at her face. This is the least flattering format to view this
She-
person.
She still looks
Lately,
better
I've been
than
making
Baron.
extra runs to stock up on resources.
I say both of them look pretty barren.
Truth is, I was even thinking about leaving.
Uh,
But right now, I'm just waiting for my team to head back to downtown to look for other survivors. Let's hope there still are some.
Okay, Googling that, I did not find
Listen,
any
Patrick's
probable
computer.
answers of, hey,
Yes.
how much
He's
Europe
lighter.
is experiencing,
Certainly has more
how much
courage
of the
than I do.
Europes, of the Asias, of the anywhere that is experiencing steel Arnold Schwarzenegger time?
because I've often wondered that. It's like, what if
Will sound
What
stupid,
if,
but
like, some countries
just got to be a bit much. you know?
just didn't really even
Patrick heard,
get
I
a
started to
dose
wonder if
of
I'm
the
even
nuclear
doing any good
apocalypse?
by
Like, some of
sticking
them are
around.
just, like, carrying on normal lives.
been
Like,
trying to
what if
protect him all this
Australia
time, but I couldn't.
is literally just living okay
that
by
happened
itself?
already.
It's just the tourist attraction
First in
from other
Pasadena,
countries has
then in
died down
Ohio.
so bad. They're just like,
I was
well, what
thinking
the
that maybe
fuck?
you'd be safer here
Yep.
at the shelter.
I would love
But
for a funny
don't worry,
scenario where
I
New
changed my
Zealanders are
mind
just like,
since.
hey, I sure haven't heard from
Is
everyone
there
outside of
something on your mind?
here.
I have a secret to tell you.
But no,
Why has no one come to visit Hobbiton?
It's good for him to have a role model.
if if there's a scenario where it's a bunch of robots that don't get tired and don't have to stop, and their main objective is to destroy all mankind for incredibly arbitrary reasons,
It's the least I can do.
I'm
for a
thinking
outcast
that it's
soldier.
worldwide.
I would think so
you
too,
hadn't
but
found
like
this
that also
weapon
goes
gasoline,
back to the concept that
I don't know
Skynet's
what.
main thing is in
Well, actually, I do.
is in LA.
Exactly what the
You would
others said
think
would
if they had the ability
People
to
were
go
talking
over
about
to
the
Europe
annihilation line months
or
before
any
it
other country or continent
of
on the
course,
planet,
tried to
you'd
turn
think
it
they
on.
would establish as some sort of backup or just like, you know, like bigger bases, like not just the one main threshold in
Knowing
the
your father,
US.
it would have
No.
been a good joke.
I believe you just
No,
gave
it-
them a
it
reason
wasn't.
to expand.
But I wanted to believe him. I thought
That
he
that
wanted
kind of thinking is exactly
We
what you could
tried
put
very
in just to
hard
go,
to keep
well,
everyone
obviously
from
they
worrying.
would, and now we're gonna have
Maybe a
sequels
little
because of that.
too hard.
Oh yeah,
But
it's
the
like
moon
either
changed
that, like hell,
us.
even if we can't explore that
community
with
my
video
father tried
games,
to
I mean,
build
hell, you would think the
started
comic book
apart.
series.
I'm
weren't
certain
doing
they
it.
do,
What
Brando. I mean,
about-
even in Predator
Yeah,
versus
they did.
Alien versus Terminator, like Skynet
Started
lives
to
on
notice things
other
going missing.
planets occasionally.
Little things.
Yeah, see, now that's fun. Like,
People got nervous.
like, it's actually kind of funny. I actually started reading Alien
My
vs
father.
Predator, the collection that I bought,
Mm-hmm.
and
Would ever get to you.
it's actually,
Of course
I think
it
it's
did.
very well written, and the art
first
styles,
time in my
obviously,
life,
I'm
there were
really,
only
really
the three
good,
of us at the
especially because
house.
it was the
After a
90s,
while, my
and
father changed
90s
the
art
sign from
style,
welcome
in my
to
opinion, is
the
probably
welcome.
some of the best. Just,
Put a lock on
I don't
it.
know why, it's just that
Started
comic
carrying
book
a
art
shotgun.
style I grew up with. Like, I hate
didn't even
the
know he
costume
owned a
designs in
gun.
the superhero genre,
He
but
always said he didn't
when it came
believe
to Dark Horse and everything like that, like,
wanted us to leave our house
when it came
and
to
run, but
the
we
genre
didn't listen.
and the characters and everything
Said
like
it was
that,
the only
the
place
90s
he could
just
keep us safe.
had it all down pat. Like, anyway, the point is,
Letting me spill my guts like
when I started reading it, I think it's very well written. The only thing that drove me really insane was how much at the beginning, because it's a conversation between these two pilots in a ship delivering goods to.
Look, there's the doggos.
Aw.
But look at the texture on that doggo that I really stared at for a hot minute.
Oh god, that looks bad.
It did.
The other dog, I was like, oh, that looks like they didn't quite finish it. The other one's a straight fucking block.
And before we swing back into that, I found it really funny when I was going through and listening to that bit of Jennifer's like story about how staying with her folks was as soon as Judgment Day happened, because they actually were just describing The Walking Dead. They weren't really describing the scenario of fighting off a tireless, endless enemy that's just slowly working up their forces. Like, this game does a good way of going, alright, there are some T-800s and there are some not T-800s. There's a lot of these little drone things that can't outright kill you, but there's forces of T-800s that can combine
Jesus,
into the
that
job.
sniper rifle.
Yep, you gotta hit them in a good spot. That's why I leveled up my weapons, to get that plasma in.
That looks a lot like the fucking sniper rifle from, Blood Dragon.
It does, doesn't it?
Actually, yes.
Huh.
It looks very much like the rifle from Blood Dragon.
What a kawinky-dink, Pilgrim.
Just that scope.
Yeah, well, it's a bioscanner scope, which is funny in a game where you fight robots. That's partially why I think you can pick up the weapons from any Terminator's hands, except for the flamethrower, because what the fuck are you gonna hit with a flamethrower?
Unless it's fucking biomechanical flamethrower, in which case it can just melt their metal, which, not possible.
Very not possible. Doesn't really exist. But yeah. I don't know, I was just amused because she's like, yeah, so for like, right after Judgment Day, you know, we had a big sign on the outskirts of our abandoned home where it just said, hey, welcome, come in. And then time went by, and then Dad changed the welcome sign to beware, and then he started walking around with a shotgun. And I was like, oh, okay. Because you go by their house in the previous mission, and that's where you read that beware sign. Also, fuck the HK aerials.
Yeah.
In this game, they can only be hurt by, like, second-generation plasma, so every time I look at them, I go, I can't kill you yet. I
Not
can't
yet.
get a big old XP boost.
Why can't I kill you? Oh, right. Mark. Oh, God. That's scary.
Yeah, they just go, hey, what's that? And then what's funny is when they get to, like, 30% health, they act like they die, and then they get up and they go, hold on.
Wait a minute. I'm a machine.
I'm a machine.
Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah.
For real this time.
Best Best ability in MK11, the ability to die instantaneously. Well done.
No.
Yep. Always love it when the Terminator's like, hey, I've got the best ability and the worst ability in MK11. Until Spawn came out with the good old-fashioned, oh, is that armor? No, no armor for you, sir.
Yep. And Spawn is still probably the best guest character, I would say. I would say Spawn is probably the better guest character in the NetherRealm Mortal Kombat games. The only second running I would have would probably be the Predator.
Mm-hmm.
And that's more or less just biased fanism from me.
Yep, the Predator was pretty good in there. I think,
Other than that, I really did like Freddy Krueger and Kratos.
Right.
Kratos is probably the second best. Second best or the best, just because not only did he play very much like you would think, he had all of his abilities, he looked very nice.
By the way, that was just a side quest where you could just take pictures of a flaming Terminator. I was like, oh, erotic.
Yeah, just become Frank West.
Ah.
Oh god,
Suspenseful.
Oh god, that's another series. Just play Dead Rising.
Yeah, play Hank East.
God no, just literally play Frank West back when he was good.
Oh.
And not Dead Rising 4.
But don't we like the Hank joke?
Yeah, we like the Hank joke, but it's just Dead Rising 4 is not Dead Rising.
That's fair. I mean, it plays like it, it's just not Frank.
Yeah, it's not Frank, and even then, the story is... It's just not very memorable.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, hell, after the events... after the events of Dead Rising 3, which I'm still pissed that we never got on the PS4.
Mm-hmm. That's why I think Frank's Big Package being ported over was such a big deal, because it's the same mechanics, essentially, just with a different color palette.
Yeah. But hell, even after... Because the concept of Dead Rising 3 was Nick Ramos was I believe he was a child that was kept at a camp that they were pretty much siphoning to try and combat the zombie outbreak in terms of like how, like basically how like you take different gene pools and different blood types and you try to make a full-on vaccine cure. Nick was apparently one of those kids in the camp. That's why he has a tattoo. I believe it's the number 13.
Good map.
And because at the end of Dead Rising 3, you find out Nick is actually... Well, not the end, but you do find out that in that game that Nick is immune to the zombie virus, so that you actually meet up. And basically your end goal is to get him out of there.
Success, do your best, and we will like it.
Do your best and we will like it.
Like, there's various spots where they have the keep calm meme, and they just put keep calm on the walls.
Oh, God. Why?
But, like, I really love the way they dress up these walls, and it's just a little, you can do it. It's like, you can or you can't. Either way, you're right. That's the one. That's the one in the corner I like. Success. It's feeling like you're doing your best, and hopefully we will like it. Believe you can, and you're halfway there.
Oh, God, that's great.
That's the inspiration we need.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, I found this game actually makes you want to use the flashlight a lot more just to see the areas, and I always end up forgetting that, so it turns into like this blue-black nonsense of, hey, can I see through the walls? Oh, okay, I guess we're good. Shut up, mannequins.
I never really found mannequins that inherently creepy until I watched that one episode of The Twilight Zone.
It's all fun and games until they start melting.
I don't care if they melt.
You might if you're in a room with them.
Why?
Oh, what if they're getting closer and they're melting, Brandon? What if they're following you with their very vague sexual organs? Just turning very slowly.
They're mannequins.
Yeah, well, what if a mannequin starts manning your kin?
If I take care of it, that
then I would wonder how the hell the Institute was able to make Sims out of these fuckers.
Well, they didn't outright make them out of mannequins. They just have mannequin-like qualities. That's different.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, real intelligent robot.
Yep, probably the scariest thing. They've killed hundreds of people alone today.
Oh yeah, what's their one weakness? A metal wall.
Yep, sure can't get me.
Uh,
Man, it's a wall they built. Boom, 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 boom. A lot of checkered floors and a lot of striped walls. Hey, look, a safe spot.
oh yeah, it's LA.
I love that little
It's-
checkpoint system. It's just you come up to a little old-fashioned computer and you go ding ding. They came again. Ever since Skyrim arrived in Pasadena, everyone's gone more violent, desperate, and hungry. I don't know how long I'll be able to blah, and then we don't care because Skyrim has come to Pasadena.
Actually, yes, that sounds a lot like what happened on Skyrim's release day. Everyone went crazy, stayed at home, and they just ran out of food.
Now they just do that now.
Yeah,
Let's date the video. 2020.
yeah, because you know a little plague has hit the world. That was made by
By an artificial AI.
Well, I was gonna say a man who went to Harvard,
No.
which it actually was. Yeah, they found out. Yeah, the coronavirus was actually a man-made virus made by a man who was the biological professor at Harvard, and he sold it to China
Where did you hear that?
on CSNBC.
CSNBC?
See, I always forget the news.
MSNBC? CNN?
It was one of the news stations. They found him. This was like a couple weeks ago. And if you look it up, it's the man who made coronavirus.
6 days ago. Four days ago. The only thing that says that I'm looking up at right now is from Fox News.
I saw it on NBC or one of the other ones.
Okay, I'll just go to Live Science, and this was published exactly 4 days ago.
Huh. Oh, look, that soldier.
Yep, I would go to a news station one, but I feel that that's a problem, so let's just go to Live Science. The title of this article, and it's been updated since about a month ago, was "The coronavirus was not engineered in a lab. Here's what we know."
Ha! Jesus Christ.
A persistent myth that can be put to bed. The novel coronavirus caused by COVID-19 spread across the globe in cases blah blah blah. Yep, that's according to March. So some of this data is about a month old. 13 coronavirus myths busted by science. Slam.
And welcome to the jam. Christ, this hacking minigame.
Yep, it's still just relating information that it came from bats. But it doesn't appear to have a... Oh, okay.
Oh, jeez.
Yep, and there he is, just getting back up. Jump, and then he goes back down.
It's like, oh no, wait, I'm a machine. And then the
17.
other one came over to investigate his friend.
One day ago. Okay, this one's a day ago. This is from BBC. Title of article: Coronavirus. China rejects call for probes into origin of disease. Because, yeah, the main idea of how the coronavirus happened is that it was spread from bats biting some cattle. The cattle carried the disease, and then it was taken to a Chinese wet market where people like chop raw fish, and there's water droplets and spit everywhere, and that's how it spread. That's how I've known it to spread. But yeah, this one's just people going, "Hey, we were gonna ask them, hey, what's up with that? Did you make this? Is this you?"
Is this you?
And China goes, "We are not even going to dignify that with a response. Why would you do that?"
So you're avoiding the question. Say yes or no. It's not that hard of a response. It's like when a child is asked, hey, did you eat the last cookie?
Oh, that's why they're not answering. It's an election year.
Oh, big fucking shocker.
I think I'm getting closer. It's got to be here.
Turrets.
It'll take time. But yeah, no, I don't believe that's... I don't think that Dr. William Birkin is sitting in a lab somewhere.
It's just
working.
making the virus. I don't know, I came across that. I don't know if it's been debunked since then and maybe all the articles got erased or...
By some Frank West stopping Frank West.
You never know, that shit can happen.
CJ Rusholo both being the guy who uncovers the truth, but also the guy hiding the truth. We made it to the rendezvous point, but we haven't had any contact with Commander Barron. Why would she send us here? This day is getting weirder and weirder. With zero radio, who fucking cares?
It's goggles.
Yeah, who really does? Especially when there's a turret right there. How the fuck are you...
The infiltrator.
Yeah, you didn't think about...
Back.
Because those aren't stealth turrets. They're not just gonna, like, pop up out of the ground and go, hey, that's organic life. Ba-bum, ba-bum.
No, like, they were camped there.
And it was, like, big purple laser gun. Like, oh, I mean, they have partial cover to it. Maybe they came through the wall and they would have been fine, but...
Still.
Yeah, no. It's a bad place. Which is what I kind of think. I like to think that the messenger, the infiltrator unit, while it killed somebody and copied their voice, that it just told them really shitty places to go.
I'm really wondering why this infiltrator unit in particular is so fucking special.
Because it's the first infiltrator unit you encounter. Like, all the other T-800s you're dealing with, they're not infiltrator units. They're just straight-up Terminator models.
Okay, so this is definitely before Kyle Reese.
Yeah, no, this is pre-Kyle Reese.
Okay, I was about to say, because Kyle in the first Terminator straight up said that, yeah, we know what infiltrator units are. That's why they had dogs at the door.
Yeah, no, they haven't got to the point where they bring in the dogs.
But the dogs are already at the door at the main base.
Yeah, that's because they're just saving life. Like, where else are the dogs gonna go? Who's gonna take care of those dogs?
I know, but it's the fact that it's just right at the front of the door where they were.
Yeah, because that's fan service, and it'll pander it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Better increase my toughness to, oh, I don't want to get killed.
I don't want to die, mama.
I gotta use camera mode to get these sweet pictures of this terror drone. Look at these awesome metal skeletons. I'm gonna take a picture of them before they kill my family.
Holy crap, that's a Terminator. Quick, get a picture with it. Why is he stabbing me?
Erotic! Fantastic.
Oh, God.
Vents! I do like the detail that whenever you go in vents, you're crawling on all fours, so you can't use your gun, but you can still use your flashlight. I like the picture that Rivers is just putting the flashlight in his mouth, and he's like...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that actually is one nice kind of detail.
Yeah, I always liked that. That was like, what was it? That old Doctor Who game that came out. I think it was the Eternity Clock.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, in some of the gameplay for that, Matt Smith's character would also crawl around on all fours. Like, they got his physicality down pretty good for his parts. I don't think that was a terribly great game, but it was pretty good. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Apparently,
All right.
Skynet's
I was
got
a little
real
bit
hard
distracted
on
by
them.
seeing him
So
literally
we
eat
figured why
a
not
medical
use
bag.
those
It tasted good. It tasted
Aren't
like
you
healing.
afraid that Skynet
But
will have a lot
now,
of firepower?
yes,
Have a break.
Baron, we have to work to get for.
Afraid? No.
Have a break. Have a
Prepared
Kit
for that
Kat.
eventuality.
Nom nom
Yes.
nom.
We've got eyes on the ambush site from every
Too
angle.
helpful.
Jennifer, are you a
If
Kit
anyone
Kat?
shows up, it means they were
Your
listening.
name's
What
Baron.
if it's one of our guys? Or
I know,
just a
but I don't
scout?
like Baron.
Too bad. We can't have
Oh, you
anyone
can't
or
call her
anything
Jennifer
sabotage
Hale.
our plan.
Not this time.
Oh, I'm
We
talking
couldn't
about
afford her.
We
what
were
about the
very
other
close
lady?
once
Oh.
before.
Jennifer, the other, the
Years.
one.
Oh, the
The-
mother of
The,
Ghost Rider.
the
Spirit
other,
Avenger.
yes, the other of the two love interests that are obvious in this damn game, which ironically enough are both women. One's a hard ass, one's a soft type. They both have dark hair. They both are white. They both have clear complexions.
No, Brandon, they both have the same facial model almost.
I know.
They're palette swaps.
I know. That's the problem.
It is indeed a problem.
It's like there is no diversity in the love interest other than their personality.
And tattoos.
Rivers,
Hey,
you saw
look.
it. Is it the same model? Is
Listen.
it the infiltrator?
I can't tell.
And River's just like, I can't tell.
Is that a person?
That's
think
the
that might
T-800. That's the infiltrator unit.
How
Good
do
enough
we
for me.
know? Oh, look, it's
River's like, yeah, it's probably him. And then she shot him with the laser.
Go check him.
And now we go check it out. Because,
Why would you go check
on
it
the target.
out?
Proceed
It's
with
good.
caution.
It's obviously a trap.
yeah, well, that's why.
What the fuck? It's the target!
Oh, fuck.
Get away. Fire at will.
You're a moron.
This is how boss fight happened now.
That's dumb.
He's in the open.
That's fucking retarded.
It's
And
in
now
the
we do
open.
cover
It's a
shooty blooty
fucking
boot.
machine.
Except every time he touches you, it gets bad. So it
Oh,
begins.
jeez, I love those purple lasers, though.
Yeah, that's the second generation plasma.
Oh god, it looks so cool.
Yeah, they tried it out with the infiltrator unit here, but once he uses it, it becomes more commonplace later from what I've seen, which creates problems. Like, the next mission, once we get to it, is essentially going out, and you have to program... You have to reprogram the keys in order to properly
It's
use
carrying
what
a
he's
second
using.
generation plasma rifle. I want it.
Oh, that was lag.
Yeah, that was a
It
little
won't
lag.
fucking
That's
die!
because the game's like, oh man, we got a problem. Big scary man exists here. Oh. I was like, where'd he go?
Where did it go? Oh,
Oh!
purple lasers. They
As he's
look
like,
so
"Ah."
cool. Why is he retreating?
Because he's luring us to a kill room. He's kind of strategically doing that. And you can see even from his line out of his model, he's taking physical damage around his head from how many times we've shot him there. Hey,
Hey,
how dare you?
how dare you? I'm ducking.
Stop doing that.
I'm ducking here. You can't attack me.
I know he just stood up, but it kind of looked like he bounced.
On the move.
Yeah, I would love this. I would love for this Terminator to have the voice of Sean Connery.
Hey,
Take cover!
guess what now, Trebek?
Jesus.
I fucked your mother.
Oh god.
I'm a true gentleman. I'm distinguished. If they touch somebody me, they have to get. See, it slowly turns into Nixon over time.
Yeah, it gets a little convoluted. It's
Like,
like,
take hydrogen fuel.
what the fuck did you just? Why did you punch the cover?
I accidentally pulled out my pipe because every time I think with weapon swap, I don't think D-pads, I think triangle. And so triangle in this game's your melee. Which is just
Oh
a
wow,
pipe.
that's weird.
So I kind of just whip out a pipe on accident sometimes.
I'm actually so used to the melee just being pressed down on R3.
Yep. Just clicking that right analog
Not
stick.
again.
I'm kind of used to the D-pad selecting my shit, but
Yeah.
I am not used to melee being an actual button prompt.
Yep, and going through the weapons you have equipped is down on the D-pad.
Ugh.
Yeah, it feels weird. Serviceable, but weird.
Yeah, because I only played this for like a short bit,
Yep.
and
But-
I was just like, I have played better shooters than this. Why is this painful?
I wouldn't call it painful. I mean, this next part, this is hell on earth. But I wouldn't call it painful.
No, it's just the mechanics. Like, I don't know why. I know I probably could rebind the keys, but I don't know. Just something about it, like.
See, this is...
It's like we both agreed. If this came out on the PS3 and Xbox 360, like, maybe like 10 years ago, it would have been really good.
You see that animation he just did? That's how much slower he throws the grenades now. This is essentially the only way I could beat him. I was like, alright, you're gonna shoot grenades? Alright, I'm gonna run into you, turn around, blam blam blam.
Oh
blam.
wow, the fact that you can even do that is kind of staggering.
Yeah, that's the only way I could beat him now, because look at how much more time it takes for him to throw a grenade. Imagine that not happening.
It would have been neat if they, established some sort of like tactical limb system
I mean, it kind of happens a little bit later if you have that weapon he's using from what I can tell. Because when you critically damage the Terminator and he gets up, if you've been firing on a specific limb, that limb does go away.
Okay.
So, like, the general guys that aren't annoying boss battles, like Big Man over here, who keeps grenading me. You see how many grenades he's just throwing out of his ass, just willy-nilly? Hey,
Come on.
yeah.
Yeah, like, oh shit, yeah, look at his upper torso is fucked with his legs.
Yep. And then, once the cutscene triggers, which is what's playing right about now,
We finally.
he goes into story mode damage, where he looks like he's taking the same battle damage Arnold did from the first movie, where it's just the hand in his eye and a few gunshot holes. Because fan servicey shit, but I kind of wish it carried over the damage that we did to him.
I know.
But at least this is kind of cool. What sucks is the game's frame rate went, oh
no
wow,
doubt
that is pretty cool.
Sky
And then it's like,
created a
Oh god, it's moving along about as fast
And
as
then
a
we're
stroke
back.
victim.
And then it catches up and it does proper.
Terminators amongst us.
And
Christ.
it does look good for this little quick, you know, not moving
Yeah, it's a
JPEG.
yeah, it's a pre-rendered cutscene.
Very pre-rendered.
We didn't think we had.
And that's fine. I mean,
And
it's
that
pretty.
fear of
But
not
then that's
knowing
everyone
what's
going,
going
why
on
is
this
this
week?"
Halloween City skeleton covered in meat?
Skynet 1.
And why does it predate the T-600s from Salvation? Oh, because
I
that
still
movie
have to
didn't
run
happen?
some tests,
Oh,
so
okay.
for now I
Yeah.
would say no.
Because this
I think
game
we-
acts like
More time
only
coming.
T1 and T2 happen.
I know, which is good. Which I still have my
No.
arguments on T2,
We
but
don't
it's
even
still a
know
great
if he's
movie.
alive.
I do appreciate that the big behemoths, there's these behemoth-looking guys with big miniguns. They're the T-47s.
Oh jeez.
They are straight up from Salvation, except they've got a metal doom skull in the center. That's still like a Terminator, like T-800 face, just bigger and angrier. It straight up roars like a demon, and then it's got minigun arms, and it's a mecha, and it's
Oh,
awesome.
God.
You know what
Jesus
happened last
God.
time.
So
He's the
good.
reason Perry's
Way better
dead.
than this.
Sergeant Rivers?
Yes,
Also,
sir.
they promoted me to
CENTCOM believes
sergeant.
that being marked
Oh
as
yay,
bad
you're a
fun.
sergeant because you destroyed a hunk of meaty skeleton flesh.
No, that happened 2 weeks ago.
Knowing
Oh.
you're wearing such a badge, Rivers, is
Oh, and this
all I
is just
need
John
to trust
Connor
you
talking
with
on the
handling
radio.
this.
We'll meet him later.
Commander Barron will fill
I
you
wonder
in
who
on the
voices
details.
John Connor in this.
Probably no one important.
Probably.
Looks like you're going to Hollywood Hills.
We look it up and
Dr.
destroy it.
Edwin Mack.
I really would not put it past him.
Yeah, you know what?
So there's a
Powers of
chance he
phone.
can do
We've got
it.
like 2 seconds. Let's look it up.
Take him that second generation plasma rifle and see if he's able to reprogram
Hey
it.
Google, who voiced John
With
Connor in
Skynet's
Terminator
weapons, We need to
Resistance?
bypass their encryption lockouts.
How will I find him?
He's obsessed with surveillance. So when you get
Oh,
there,
Thomas
for any
Dekker?
cameras,
Wow.
biometric
Alright.
sensors, or any other
And
tech
Sarah
stuff.
Connor
He
Chronicles.
should be
Yeah.
around.
Well, that's
That's it.
kind of a
Well,
neat tie-in.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye.